Heartfelt moments on full display tonight. That is video posted on Savannah Guthrie's Instagram, paying tribute to her mother as law enforcement frantically searches for her after being kidnapped from her Catalina Foothills home. The FBI has now raised the reward to $100,000 for information in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney. And tonight, there's lots of new developments as authorities scramble to identify a potential subject in the ongoing kidnapping investigation. News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia is live in the Catalina Foothills once again, following it all. And Monica, what developments are you tracking tonight?
A big piece in the puzzle is that new forensic analysis that came in about 2 hours ago, which we broke right here on News 4 Tucson, giving us a better picture, not the full suspect profile, but we're getting close to that. And it's all really centering around what took place earlier today at the door right here behind me when they put up that tent. I mean, there was a lot to be said about that. It was a specialized FBI team from Quantico that used that doorway as a measurement reference, calculating the suspect's height and build from the video. So this is all really great information as we inch closer to really identifying who that person was. So let's take a look at the backpack. That's another thing that's breaking today is images of this person's backpack that they were wearing, thanks to the FBI confirming the person seen in that doorbell footage was carrying a black 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker backpack. We looked it up online. I mean, this backpack is available everywhere, mainly Walmart and Target. That is a detail investigators believe could obviously narrow down thousands of incoming tips, though, okay? Despite it being sold at a lot of places, it still helps them, they tell us. Now let's go ahead and talk about the suspect description. And I want to talk about it while we're looking at the video there, because this is what's important. We've seen this video, a lot. We played this all over our station, all over social media, and now we're getting a better idea and being able to tell you guys more about what we're looking at thanks to that forensic analysis. Agents analyzing that doorbell video frame by frame from their lab. It's that doorway that became the fixed reference point known as a measurement used to calculate the suspect's approximate height and their build. Investigators say that kind of forensic work can measure proportions down 2 inches is what we're getting. Investigators now describing that person, that man, the suspect, at 5'9" to 5'10" with an average build. So let's go to what the Pima County Sheriff's Department is now telling us. And so this morning they have said that they are expanding their search. They have expanded it more or less to that 2-mile radius of this neighborhood. So they're expanding while narrowing at the same time the time frame. Okay, so they're saying if you live within the 2-mile radius of this area, that's Skyline Drive, that's North Campbell Avenue, they're being asked, you folks are being asked to submit surveillance video from January 1st through February 1st. So in one entire month, they're now looking at within a 2-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's house here in the foothills. The sheriff said you should be looking for some suspicious activity. When I did speak one-on-one with Sheriff Chris Nanos, I asked him what specifically, because we've been getting, different descriptions of vehicles and just different colors and different types of vehicles. He goes, no, don't look for a specific vehicle, he told me. It's not about a specific vehicle. It's not about a specific person. He goes, just look at that video. If you live in this area and if you see something that just doesn't belong, he said, you know your neighborhood, you know what car should be there, you know what person should be there. He says that's what they would consider suspicious activity, and that's what he wants people in a 2-mile radius of this area of the foothills to be on the lookout for and consider this. He also tells me that the FBI has received 13,000 tips that they're all looking into since the very beginning. Sean, live from the foothills, I'm Monica Garcia. Back to you.
Okay, and in that neighborhood, Nancy Guthrie receiving a lot of support, and that includes people from around the world and right here at our station. Now, everyone here at News 4 Tucson understands just how much the search for Nancy Guthrie has impacted the community here. Nancy's daughter, Savannah, you may know, worked for us on her way to becoming anchor of the Today Show. So we decided to do something to show our support. And here's News 4 Tucson's Robbie Reynolds with more on the effort to bring Nancy home.
Well, if you wanted to send a message to the Guthrie family, now you can. Here at News 4 Tucson, we now have a banner out in front of our station where you can sign and send messages to the Guthrie family as the search for Nancy Guthrie continues. We have Sharpies out here that you can use. And we've been told by the Pima County Sheriff's Department they have been flooded with people requesting ways to send messages to the Guthrie family and send their support. And so management here at News 4 Tucson thought this would be a really nice gesture and an easy way for people to come out and show their support as the search for Nancy continues here.
We're all just wishing the best for them and praying for a resolution. So praying for, obviously it would be amazing if she were brought back to them.
And just so you know, when you get to our station here at Stone and Drockman, we have these Sharpies right here. They're hanging from strings on either side of the banner, so really simple for you to pick one up. There's about 10 of them out here, so there's plenty for everybody. You can go ahead and write a message on the banner. Robbie Reynolds, News 4 Tucson.
All right, folks, and again, our station is at Stone and Drockman at 209 West Elm, and there is the map right there. Now, the banner is in the front of the station where our logo is on the east side of the building. We hope you'll come by. A California man accused of sending a fake ransom demand to the family of Nancy Guthrie made his initial appearance today in federal court. Derek Colella, a 42-year-old from Hawthorne, California, will remain out of custody before his trial, but with several restrictions. News 4 Tucson's Jacob Owens was there and tried to speak to Colella as he left court in Tucson this afternoon. Jacob.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, Colella declined to talk to me. He was joined by his mother today in court here in Tucson in federal court. He had already appeared in court in California last week. And we didn't hear much from him during this initial appearance. Some yes, your honors, just when the judge was asking him if he understood different things about his case. But he's facing 2 felony counts related to that fake ransom demand. According to court documents, he sent a text to one of Nancy Guthrie's daughters as well as a son-in-law for Nancy Guthrie, and this happened on February 4th according to those documents. That was just 3 days into the search for Guthrie. Now we'll show you, this is Colella leaving court today, I should say. And he's accused of sending that ransom demand across state lines and using a device to threaten or harass someone while hiding his identity. In court, federal prosecutors did not appeal a decision made by a California judge. That's what has led him out of custody before trial. However, the government called the damage Colella had done fairly significant. Prosecutors spoke of the emotional damage done to the Guthrie family, as well as the resources deployed in 2 different districts to possibly rescue Guthrie following Colella's alleged ransom demand. A new hearing has not been scheduled for Colella, but we know from court today that he faces several restrictions and he's already turned over his passport. Colella will have his electronic devices monitored, and his travel is being limited to California, Arizona, and the necessary travel you need to go in between those 2 states. Sean, Colella was also ordered not to have any contact with the alleged victims or potential witnesses in this case. Reporting live downtown, Jacob Owens, News 4 Tucson.
And he may be out, but it is clear that man is facing some serious charges. Once again, we want to remind you, as we mentioned, the FBI is now offering a $100,000 reward. They have doubled it from information leading to Nancy Guthrie's recovery. Folks, if you have any information, no matter how small the detail, you're asked to call the number right there on your screen, 1-800-CALL-FBI. And for our continuing coverage on the ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie, be sure and stay with News 4 Tucson on air on all of our social media platforms and our website at KVOA.com/Nancy Guthrie.